Hi everyone. So I'm just continuing on the final touches of my granddaughter's journals. Trying to remember where I was on my story of my trip to Uganda. Let's see here. I rarely get this right, but that's okay. That looks pretty good, considering. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. So to begin with, when you first arrive in Uganda, the first thing you're noticing is the open wood-burning fire or charcoal fires that they cook with. And it's an overwhelming odor. Throughout the city of Kampala. And they are, that's because that's how they cook. Even at the house where the children stay, she has no stove and she has no oven. She has cooking vessels that are they are charcoal. Wood-burning stoves or cooking via wood burning is difficult because it causes the smoke of wood makes the outside of the pots that they use black soot, and so their choice is always going to be charcoal. If they can't afford charcoal or if they can't get charcoal, then they will use wood, but it does ruin the outside of the pots that they use. So it's just the way it is over there. Many things, it's just how it is. So the house is beautiful. It's very nice. It's up to any standards except for certain things, and certain things they still do the same way. As when they lived in the little 2-room house. Well, it wasn't a house. It was more like some kind of duplex. More than 2. That's how they used to live. And they always cooked outside. They had a little porch so that if it were raining, they could cook either on the porch or in this tiny storage room that was off to the side when you would first walk outside of the 2-room place where they lived, or one room. And that was how they used to cook. So how they cook now is not different from how they used to cook. However, she has a nice kitchen with a sink and running water. That's totally different. They didn't have running water in the other place. And, it was just so different. So I'm basically finishing up on some things I have here. If this doesn't stick down because it's glossy, I'll have to sand it down. But I'm going to give it a try first. So also washing clothes, washing dishes, all of that is done by hand. And the children are involved in everything. They help, boys and girls, they help do everything. The inside of the house is very clean. Way cleaner than my house is. I might clean house once a week. Might. And I'm glad. I'm glad for that. On the other hand, I am. So they are overboard on the cleaning. And in many ways, that's awesome. It gives visitors a feeling of, I'm so glad it's this way for the children's sake and everybody's sake. But in order to get it done, the children do help. The children help every day. These painty papers are from Dawn. She makes the most beautiful painty papers. Dawn Calvin of Let's Make a Mess. Oh, I forgot to mention my new craft mat. I've never had a craft mat before. I'm always trying to save money. And a craft mat for a long time seemed like a real luxury. So I've used Dollar Tree posters, which is under here, and the scrap papers, things that you can reuse, and I did reuse them. This doesn't like the Mod Podge very much. Maybe when it dries. Yeah, it's gonna like it just fine. So, one of the main differences between where they stay now and where they stayed before is the amount of space that the children actually have to be inside and do homework, be inside, and to get out of the rain and the weather, be inside and eat. things we don't even think about. It's an 8-room house. And it at the other place they had one of our board members called it a slum, which I suppose it was. Finish my sentence. It had a latrine, one latrine that was used by all the people that lived in the apartments there. This is really piecing it, isn't it? And when it would get so bad, then someone would take the only running water hose that they had there and go in there and just hose it down. Where they are now, they have a two full bathrooms with toilets and shower and sink. The kitchen there was no kitchen in the other place. They did their dishes in tubs on the ground out in front of the apartment. And also, there is a latrine out back that the children can use in case of an emergency. And they, so in essence, 3 bathrooms, but not 3, only 2 showers. And it's because of the donators that they have all of these things. The donations for the children to have this house and a much better way of living. So this is Mod Podge, and it is matte Mod Podge. And I hope it doesn't dull down the gold on here too much. I'm sure it will some. So I'll just let that dry for a little while. I have a new the reason why I was able to afford this craft mat and the new, I think it's called a crocodile, something like that. The reason why I was able to afford them is that a couple of the ladies, along with their donations for the children to have junk journals and arts and craft supplies, they sent me gift cards. So sweet. So since then I have bought a crocodile. I still need to I guess you have to have eyelets and grommets. I don't know. I've never had one before. So I remember in the old days that we used to have to hammer the eyelets down. That was many, many years ago when I had done that. So in the girls' journals, my granddaughter's journals, I have many pockets, tucks, and things like that. So I'm making the different tags for the pockets and tucks in the journals. Very fun. And I'm getting really anxious to give them to the two granddaughters that they're for. I don't know, I guess that one of the things I'm most grateful for is the space inside the house, so that if it's raining or if it's been raining and it's just all muddy. When I was there, it was during the rainy season, and I will try to avoid the rainy season from now on, because driving to the home visits was an adventure all its own. And if it weren't for the excellent driving skills, I know you're thinking of Rain Man. I love that movie. Of our driver, Bassa. His poor car. Oh my goodness. And when we go there soon, I don't mean soon, I mean in May, which is soon compared to, I waited 3 years before. And it wasn't all because of saving money and financial. It was partly because of just different changes that the orphanage has, the ministry has gone through, I guess I'll say it that way, with trying to get board members, trying to establish a structure for making a foundation, nonprofits foundation. All of these things are very different than how it's ever been before. So it's a blessing and it's a lot of work all at the same time. So I don't mind the work, I just don't have those skills. So praying for people that come along that will step up to the business experience and business sense that it takes, not to mention the internet, the technology that a lot of this involves. So we're just trying to, right now, I have a bank account that I have dedicated totally to the orphanage, and it is set aside, and the funds go in there strictly for the children. And so the foundation website is set up so that the donated funds go straight to the account, the bank account that I started for that purpose. And I handle all the funds. I don't know what that is. Now, I think I have a different video that is on my playlist that should not be in the playlist for music videos. I'll have to go see about it. Sounds like my favorite groomer. I'll just check on that real quick.
Hello? Shh, sleeping. We're the Kellys. Our dream is to protect our babies too.
Yeah, so sometimes I save videos to the wrong playlist. Woo, 29 minutes. Gotta go, everybody. I'm gonna be continuing to work on these things, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.